Would you be surprised to hear that the profession with the highest level of suicide is doctors, and that not far behind doctors comes dentists, and then a little way behind that comes attorneys? I was a little bit surprised to read that. Maybe not so much the attorneys, because I've worked with a lot of attorneys and they always seem to be stress senseless. But certainly with doctors, which is a very high aspirational job, it's something that's looked up to by most people in society. It's very well paid. Some doctors work insanely long hours, but a lot don't work more reasonable hours. And certainly my dentist, I mean, the guy only works a 4-day week, you know, so, and he's younger than I am. The bastard. Anyway, so it's kind of weird when you hear that. But then when I started to reflect, I thought, well, actually, you know what? It's not really that weird. Because mostly what kids have done when they get in to do things like that, they've set goals when they were younger, maybe to go to medical school or to law school or whatever. And the goals sucked from the beginning. The goals really were often impacted by the advice of parents and teachers and sort of adults that really thought they should be aiming for a safe, a sensible, a well-paying career. So they'd set a goal to go to law school or to medical school. Yeah, how many parents would stop a child that was setting a goal to go to law school, say, and say, well, you know what, you really love dance. You really love to dance. Why don't you look to see if you can get into some performing arts school? My guess is not many. Yet I know the opposite of that happens a lot. When kids want to, say, go into a career like writing or acting or dance or drama or any of those sort of the more unsafe careers. I don't know why I keep doing this, it's hideous, it bugs me when other people do it, so I apologise. But they're often dissuaded from doing that to aim for the stuff that is going to make money and give them prestige. But the problem is with setting goals like that is they suck. They suck massively. Because the goals that are driven by other people's wants and needs and expectations, rather than the person's that set them, and they're never aligned with the person's values. And that's the key to good goal setting. They have to be aligned with your values. So if you've got a value of freedom, and that means the freedom to travel, etc., and so on and so forth, then setting yourself a goal that's going to put you in an office 6 days a week, 51 days a year, is ultimately going to make you miserable. But the problem with that is most people don't know what the values are. I've been a full-time coach at the time of doing this for over 7 years. I have never had a client come to me that fully understood their values. They thought they did. A lot did. So they would set goals with things that they think they wanted. And then if and when they achieved them, they would feel empty. Here's a big piece of math for you. Being in alignment with your values equals, by and large, happy. Not always, of course. People die, people get sick. We're not always happy. I understand that. Being out of alignment with your values equals, by and large, misery. When I worked in sales, I made a load more money than I do now. But I was miserable. I fell into coaching because I got so stressed, so down, so depressed with what I was doing, that I finally realised I had to understand what was driving me, what was going to make me happy. And like I say, I got lucky. So if you're going to set goals, great. Go ahead and set them. But understand first and foremost what is driving those goals. And it's never, ever money. You have to keep drilling down until you get to your values. And if you set goals that are in alignment with your values, you are going to be, most of the time, trust me on this, I'm a life coach. Thanks for watching. Cheers.